समस्त दर्शक बंधु माननकु शुभ संध्या एवं मोर प्यार भरा नमस्कार। आजिर ए वीडियो माध्यम रे आपण माननकु इंडिया रो फर्स्ट पर्सनालिटी विषय रे अवगत कराइबी। पॉलिटिक्स रे हो, जुडिशियरी हो, साइंस एंड स्पेस, एजुकेशन, एविएशन, स्पोर्ट्स, आर्ट्स, कल्चर, मीडिया विभिन्न फील्ड माध्यम रे भारत रो सर्वप्रथमे किए किए हेथिले तांको विषय रे आमे जानिबा। चलंतु देरी न करिकि बहुत किछि शिखिबा। प्रथमे आमे देखिबा पॉलिटिक्स एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन रु। पॉलिटिक्स एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन रे किए प्रथमे आइसथिले। प्रथम प्रश्न हला हु वाज द फर्स्ट प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया? आंसर डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद। क्वेश्चन हु वाज फर्स्ट वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया? योर आंसर इज डॉक्टर सर्वपल्ली राधाकृष्णन। क्वेश्चन हु वाज द फर्स्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया? आंसर जवाहरलाल नेहरू। Question: Who was the first Deputy Prime Minister of India? Answer: Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Question: Who was the first Home Minister of India? Answer: Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Who was the first Finance Minister of India? Please say answer. Your answer is R.K. Shanmugam Chetty. Question: Who was the first Defence Minister of India? Answer: Baldev Singh. Question: Who was the first woman Prime Minister of India? Answer: Indira Gandhi. Question: Who was the first woman President of India? Answer: Pratibha Patil. Who was the first woman governor in India? Answer: Sarojini Naidu. From Judiciary and Law, who was the first Chief Justice of India? Answer: S.J. Kania. Question: Who was the first woman Chief Justice of a High Court in India? Answer: Leela Seth. Question: Who was the first woman judge of the Supreme Court of India? Answer: M. Fatima Baby. Question: Who was the first Law Minister of India? Answer: Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Question: Your education and literature. From education and literature, प्रथम प्रश्न, who was the first Indian to win a Nobel Prize? सर्वप्रथम नोबेल प्राइज विजेता किए? Your answer: Rabindranath Tagore. Question: Who was the first Indian woman to win a Nobel Prize? प्रथम महिला नोबेल प्राइज विजेता किए? Answer: Mother Teresa. Question: Who was the first Indian to win the Booker Prize? प्रथम भारत व्यक्ति किए बुकर प्राइज पाइथिले? आंसर: अरुंधति रॉय. Question: Who was the first woman IAS officer of India? भारतर प्रथम IAS ऑफिसर महिला IAS ऑफिसर किए? आंसर: आना रजम मालहोत्रा. This question will be from defense and space. Who was the first Indian commander-in-chief of the army? Answer: K.M. Cariappa. Question: Who was the first Field Marshal of India? Answer: Sam Manekshaw. Question: Who was the first Indian to go into space? Answer: Rakesh Sharma. Question: Who was the first Indian born woman in space? Answer: Kalpana Chawla. From Science and Technology, who was the first Indian Nobel laureate in science? Answer: C.V. Raman. Who is known as the Missile Woman of India? Tessie Thomas. And as you know that who is the Missile Man of India? You know Missile Man of India is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. But Missile Man of Woman Missile Man is known as Tessie Thomas. Who was the first Indian to win the field medal? Answer: Manjul Bhargava. From Aviation and Exploration, who was the first Indian woman pilot? Answer: Sarla Thukral. Question: Who was the first Indian to swim across the English Channel? Answer: Mihir Sen. From sports, who was the first Indian Olympic medal winner? Answer: Norman Pritchard. Question: Who was the first Indian to win an individual Olympic gold medal? Answer: Abhinav Bindra. Question: Who was the first Indian woman Olympic medalist? Answer: Karnam Malleshwari. Question: Who was the first Indian woman to win an Olympic silver medal? Answer: PV Sindhu. From Arts and Culture. Who was the first Indian to win an Oscar award? Answer: Bhanu Athaya. Question: Who was the first Indian Miss World? Answer: Rita Faria. Question: Who was the first Indian Miss Universe? Answer: Susmita Sen. From Media and Miscellaneous. Question: Who started the first Indian newspaper? Answer: James Augustus Hickey. Question: Who was the first Indian ICS officer? Answer: Satyendranath Tagore. Question: Who was the first woman IPS officer of India? Answer: Kiran Bedi. Question: Who was the first woman speaker of Lok Sabha? Answer: Meera Kumar. Other important first. Who was the first Indian to climb Mount Everest? Answer: Tenzing Norgay. Question: Who was the first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest? Answer: Bachendri Pal. Question: What was the name of the first test tube baby in India? Answer: Durga. Kanupriya Agrawal. Question: Who was the first recipient of Bharat Ratna? Answer: C. Rajgopalachari. Question: Who was the first woman to receive Bharat Ratna? Answer: Indira Gandhi. Question: Who was the first woman railway minister of India? Answer: Mamata Banerjee. Question: Who was the first woman chief minister of India? Answer: Suchitra Kripalani. Question: Who was the first Indian woman doctor? Answer: Anandibai Joshi. Question: Who was the first Indian woman advocate? Answer: Cornelia Sorabji. Question: Who was the first Indian Governor General? Answer: C. Rajgopalachari. Question: Who was the first Indian woman Air Marshal? Answer: Padmavati Bandyopadhyaya. Question: Who was the first woman president of the Indian National Congress? Ani Besant. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please do not forget to like, comment and share so that so many people will get lot of information out of this video. Thank you. All the best and happy learning.